So you've read your feedback loop article, getting some examples of what's happening for positive systems and negative systems. So all of those are coming right from the reading. And you started to see some trends happening with these examples. In terms of a positive feedback loop, the key word that we're thinking about here is the word extreme. Okay. In a positive feedback loop, the system reinforces itself to continue to grow in one direction. So I always like to think of the visual as a plus sign, meaning it's going to keep going in all these directions to the extreme level, whichever way it's going. Positive feedback loop doesn't just mean good. A positive feedback loop can be decreasing infinitely. It's just decreasing only and going to the extreme low. So the key word we're pairing up with positive is extreme. Over here with negative, again, it's not a bad thing. It just means that they're not building on each other, increasing infinitely. Negative, our key word that we're thinking about here is balanced. And the little visual I like to use with the negative sign is like a little teeter-totter. Whatever happens over here on this side has got to happen over here on this side for the negative feedback loop to stay balanced. So one of the examples they gave in the article was like a couple sports. They talked about basketball. So in the game of basketball, if you score, the other team gets the ball, gets a chance to score. They score, you get a chance, and so on. So the scoring is like a negative feedback loop, working to keep the game and the score balanced out. The example over here, or one example over here for positive, was like the snowball. It said the snowball rolls down the hill. It starts to gather snow. It continues to roll. It rolls faster. The faster it rolls, it gets more snow. The more snow it gets, the faster it rolls. The faster it rolls, the more snow it gets. The more snow it gets, the faster it rolls. And you get the idea. It's infinitely going in one extreme direction. Whereas a negative feedback loop is staying even or balanced as long as it can. So those are our keywords that match up to those terms. So when you're in here on the slides, what you're thinking about in each scenario is what feedback loop is it? Because is it going to the extreme or staying balanced? So in the bank account, you're depositing money in the account, let's say $100. You earn interest on that $100. So at the end of the year, you have $110 more money, which means your interest increases. You earn more of it. So now at the end of the next year, you have $130, which means you have more money, which means you have more interest, $150, more money total, which means more interest gets earned, $180. So it's going more, completely in one direction. So thinking about your notability, you should be able to pair that up and say it's extreme or balanced, meaning it's which kind of loop, positive or negative. So again, the only words you're putting in here are those four. Just real quick, let's look at like this number 5 with a data piece in there. So we're getting the scenario about pregnancy hormones. A woman becomes pregnant. The body creates more estrogen. The further along in the pregnancy she is, the more estrogen her body creates. So we're looking at the data. More months pregnant, meaning more estrogen created. What's that going to mean in terms of what's happening with the data? And is it a positive or negative feedback loop? So you're going through what's happening. Is it working to the extreme or balancing out? And then determine positive or negative. And then just a quick summary of, overall negatives are like this, positives are like this.